Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain why user space processes can't make direct calls to the kernel. Let's use a simple analogy related to Indian governance to explain why a user space process can't make direct calls to the kernel in an operating system. Analogy: Indian government structure. Imagine the kernel of an operating system as the central government of India, which makes all the country's critical decisions, decisions that must be carefully controlled and managed. The user space processes are like the country's citizens who are engaged in their daily activities and occasionally need services provided by the government, such as applying for a passport, filing taxes, or obtaining a driver's license. Separation of powers. Just as there are different layers of authority and protocol for accessing a government's central services, there are also strict protocols in an operating system for how a user space process interacts with the kernel. This is primarily for security and stability reasons. What happens under the hood? Security and stability. If citizens were allowed to interact directly with high level government officials to get things done, it could lead to chaos, misinformation, and security issues. Similarly, allowing user space processes direct access to the kernel could lead to accidental or malicious alterations to system functions, compromising the system's stability and security. Controlled access. Just as citizens must follow specific procedures like filling out forms, visiting government offices, or using official portals to interact with government services, user space processes must use system calls to request services from the kernel. System calls are well defined, controlled interfaces that perform tasks like reading files, creating processes, etc. Switching context. When a user space process makes a system call, the system needs to safely transition control from the user space to the kernel space. This resembles a citizen being granted a scheduled appointment to meet a government official. The operating system ensures that this switch happens in a secure and controlled manner, often involving changing the mode of the processor from user mode to kernel mode, which allows the CPU to access protected memory that user processes can't touch. Performing the request. Once in kernel mode, the kernel reviews the request, just like a government officer would check the documents and forms submitted by a citizen. If everything is in order, the kernel will execute the necessary actions like reading from a disk or allocating memory. Returning control. After the kernel has handled the request, control is passed back to the user space process, similar to how a citizen leaves a government office. The operating system ensures that the transition back to user mode is secure, preventing any user process from retaining unauthorized access to kernel powers. This separation and controlled interaction ensure that the system operates efficiently and securely, preventing any single process from accidentally or intentionally disrupting the operation of the whole system. Much like a government handling citizens' requests, this systematic and bureaucratic approach maintains order and security in a complex environment. Thank you everyone for watching the video. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For more content like this, check out my book, Cracking the DevOps Interview.